Hi, welcome to One Star. Uh, I guess this is a documentary, but it's not going to be what you're expecting. This is kind of an anti-documentary. Not that I'm anti-documentary, but this isn't this isn't what you would normally see on YouTube. Basically, I feel like there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that's very exhaustive. 4 hour long documentaries, 12-hour long takedowns of like one Star Wars movie, or there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of content out there that's very meticulous, some of it really good, some of it just mimicking that form and the fact that that's become popular. And I was at a crossroads basically because I had a story like that. I had something that happened to me and to people that I know, that would fit something that had meticulous editing and tons of transitions and photos, and it would probably be like 5 hours long to do it like thoroughly. But I had already gone through that process with it. I had written a piece which is published in my Substack, which is called One Star, much like this movie. And it's all there. Like if you want to read in the weeds the whole story, you can just read the Substack piece, which is like 15,000 words. Lots of pictures, lots of evidence, lots of proof as to who done it in this, I guess you could say, mystery. But I didn't want to go through that process again. It felt Sisyphusian. It felt like pushing the boulder up the hill and then it rolling back again, because I felt like I finished something, and that was a lot of work. That piece, that was a journalistic endeavor. That was an article that could be in, any outlet. I don't even know. I can't even think of an outlet, like a respected outlet. This isn't my world, like reporting and journalism. That's not my world. I like making art. I like making weird movies. But yeah, I felt like that door had been closed and I wanted it to remain closed. I didn't want to have to open it, start from scratch, just because it would be popular. I felt like many times in my life, there's ideas I've had or things I could have done that would have been more popular, but I chose to rebel against the way things were going or what people were doing, to great advantage and sometimes to my own detriment, but always with an artistic integrity, basically. So I came to that crossroads again where I was like, all right, I could pour over all this material again, edit it, shoot videos of me talking and explaining and reading things aloud and looking into the camera, and mixed with all sorts of media, and I could do that and it would probably be a very popular YouTube video because people like those kinds of stories. But then when I sat and really thought about it, A, I didn't want to have to do all that work. B, I didn't want to have to go through all that trauma again. And C, these aren't multiple choice, by the way. I'm just listing the amount of things. And C, I think people just like interesting stories. And I don't think they're crazy about that extra long YouTube format. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's what people necessarily specifically want. It's just the delivery system that's in vogue at this time. So basically, I was like, well, a great story will travel, and it's a great story. Like it sucks that it happened to me, but it's really compelling and interesting and weird that it happened. And basically like, if I'm going to sit down and tell the story again, I want to tell it in a new way. And so here I am in black and white with a microphone in my hand and a camera rolling in an unbroken shot. And I'm not even sure if it's recording right now. I'm going to move forward and look. Yes, it's recording. And let me make sure the audio is recording too. Okay, yes, the audio is recording, and yes, the video is recording. So everything I said has been recorded. Anyway, yeah, it's like I had done a first take. I didn't get far in. It was like a minute, and then I realized I wanted to start over. And just everything's going through my head, and I wasn't sure if I hit the record buttons on the audio and the video correctly, so I had to check that. Anyway, back to what I'm talking about. Basically, if you've read the piece, you know the story. If you haven't read the piece, me, Dan Lotz, Joel Haver, bunch of other YouTube filmmakers, basically anybody who was competition in this person's eyes, this person decided to destroy us with dummy accounts and lots of 1-star ratings and reviews on various outlets, from Amazon to IMDb to Letterboxd, now Instagram. I don't know. It's so stupid. But this went on for 4 years. And this was all done by one individual with an accomplice, which I'm not sure how much they did. They did some of it. But as more evidence came out, it just seemed like it was probably just the one guy. And then his friend, who isn't really a filmmaker, is just his friend, probably just did a little bit of it. I would say it's like 80-20. That's my guess. I can never be 100% sure because it's dummy accounts, but I have proof that it's the guy, and the other guy, the 20% guy, did a lot of it in his own name. So there you go. But yeah, this was all done by Sean Rose, who's a guy I met like 4 or 5 years ago online, fellow filmmaker. He just reached out, friendly, I guess. We were never really close. It's just colleagues talking on the internet. But unbeknownst to me, he was doing everything he could to destroy the reputation of my films and other YouTube filmmaker. Okay, let me break this down. Basically, when I say YouTube filmmaker, I'm talking about people who simply release their films on YouTube because it's a good way to do it. You can get some views on there or whatever. Like, it's a pretty decent platform. I don't mean YouTube filmmaker in like a pejorative sense. I could just as easily consider myself an Amazon Prime Video filmmaker or a Tubi filmmaker or whatever. These are places you release things. I've released things on a number of different platforms. So basically, Sean was a YouTube filmmaker too. And I guess he in his own eyes saw himself as more unique than he actually was or something. Usually the normal thing is like when you realize more people are doing kind of what you're doing, you get excited because now you have colleagues and now you have friends and you can kind of network and you can also compare notes and everything. And I think that was part of why he reached out to me. I think that part was genuine, but I think something creeped up in him where he realized like these people are working fast and well, and I'm a slower filmmaker, and they're passing me by. Like, I don't know what's going through his head. Like, this is just speculation. But he became jealous at some point to the extent that he decided, well, the only way I'm going to get ahead is if I secretly use all sorts of accounts to give these other filmmakers a bad reputation while I inflate my own reputation with fake reviews and ratings, to make my own work look good and their work look bad. And even just like, God, even just like telling you some of this, it's like, just read the article, you know? I'm a writer, you know? I'm good at art, but I can lay it down non-fictionally too. And I'm proud of the words that I wrote for that piece. And the proof that I was able to come up with, that indisputably shows that Sean did this. I'm talking about IP addresses matching up from the dummy account to Sean and etc. Things you can't deny, like, and just, you know, just thinking about that, it's just like, he hasn't come to any realization within his own self of like, I got caught. I need to just own up to it, move on, become a better person. Like, he's not in that stage. I don't know if he'll ever get in that stage. That's the stage people are supposed to get into, you know, redemption arc kind of stuff. Hopefully he does get to that point. Anyway, yeah, it's just like, I hate that I have to do any of it. Like, I hate that I had to write the piece, because it's like an added chore on top of being attacked and having your films attacked through all these dummy accounts, and making it so that like films of mine that I know are good and I'm proud of have like, you know, a 2 out of 10 rating on IMDb or something, just because one person wants to make a bunch of IMDb accounts and just 1 star, 1 star, 1 star it. And like, I should say I got a lot of this stuff taken down, especially on Letterboxd, where it was going crazy over there. Letterboxd is really helpful. Shout out to them. They took a specific interest in what was going on with me, which was very unique. And they wanted to help out. And so I would send them weird reviews and ratings and be like, hey, this could be that guy. And they would check IP addresses, and then would see if it was a person or not. And if it was the guy using dummy accounts, they would get it taken down. Or rather, I should say they would take it down. So that was great. I don't know, man. It's just like, I guess the goal with doing it this way, black and white, it's me sitting talking, was like, I don't have to do more. I've already done the piece. I put that out into the world. All the proof, all the evidence, everything linear. You can start from the beginning, go all the way to the updates and everything that's recent. Like, it's all laid out. And so I was like, well, as great as that is, people need video. People need something to have in their hand. And I just want to document what it feels like to be at this point right now. Like, this is a documentary. Sure, it's about what I went through. Basically, it's about where I'm at right now. and how I feel having gone through this. And also it's not over because he's still doing it, even though it's been proven that it's him, which is crazy. Anyway, like what I was gonna say was, I was like, let me just do this in the easiest way possible. But then like I kind of forgot that like just sitting with a microphone and talking into a camera is kind of hard in its own right. It's easy when you're a character and you're handling a scene and you're looking at a fellow actor and all that. It's hard when you're just kind of rambling, but that's what I wanted this to be. So I'm happy in that regard. I just wanted it to be raw and kind of everything a documentary shouldn't be, which is bullshit because there's so many documentaries that are like that, like Portrait of Jason. There's countless documentaries that are just basically just somebody talking, and black and white actually. Anyway, what's it feel like to be me right now? The thing that like still really bugs me is my films on IMDb have like really low ratings, because IMDb is like they're weird, man. They don't want to help you out, which I get because they're such a huge site and like they got other stuff to do. But fake ratings, they don't really care about. They just kind of leave them up. And that sucks. And it's also like, I don't want to fake good ones just because the site sucks in that regard. You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't feel good either. I just want people who like my stuff, like if they like it, I just encourage them, make an IMDb account if you don't have one already, and leave it a rating that you feel is suitable for it. You know what I mean? Anyway, I mean, this is like, I guess this is my worst film, You're experiencing that right now. Actually, no. I mean, so like Minimalist Shark horror movie, like that's technically will always be my worst film because it's just colors and stuff. It's abstract. It's actually just an art piece that's taking the form of, a film in order to make the statement that it's making or whatever. But it's like flashing colors and very slowly at that. This, I don't know what this is. Is this a commercial for the Substack piece that I want people to read? I don't know. Am I killing time? Am I making something that, people will have to suffer through, just me rambling? But am I getting a sick satisfaction because the perpetrator, the person who's been harassing me and targeting me and other filmmakers, and like, is there a sick satisfaction that like he's having to sit through this too? I guess, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just basically the idea is just roll for like 40 minutes or so. Because that's become that's the cutoff for like a feature, which is just like, I mean, it's just a silly thing based on like what the Oscars considers. That's kind of like an in-joke between YouTube filmmakers and friends of mine, the idea of like a 40-minute feature. Like, yeah, in my heart of hearts, it doesn't feel like a feature-length film to make something that's 40 minutes. But that's what the Academy says is a film, like a feature film, 40 minutes. So we've been like, kind of like tongue-in-cheek using that to our advantage by making 40-minute films, which is kind of like been good for us creatively too, because there's certain films I made that are that short that like I'm really proud of, and I wouldn't have conceived of doing in that way without that weird realization of like the 40-minute Oscar cutoff. But that's cool. But yeah, I just, I don't want to do this for that long. So I figure if I do it for 40 minutes, that's good. I'm just checking how long it's been. Oh, sweet. Okay. So it's been 20 minutes. You know what I'll talk about? I'm going to talk about Dan Lotz, one of the people who's been very affected by this. So like basically Sean targeted me and Dan primarily. Like he targeted Joel too, but drop in the bucket because Joel's super famous on YouTube. So like any targeted thing is just drowned by love immediately. Whereas like me and Dan, we have fans, we have people that like our stuff, but like we're not at that level where like it doesn't affect us. Like what Sean was doing, and he was doing it specifically because it would affect us. He was basically making it so we could never get past a certain level. I think that was his goal. I'm not a mind reader, but I think he was trying to keep us down to see if I keep them down, maybe I can surpass them at whatever it is that we do, which is all silly because it's all art and we're all just expressing ourselves. So yeah, Dan Lotz, friend of mine, then not friend, then friend again. And part of the reason was that we were going through this, and honestly other people as well, attacking us and getting us upset. But like primarily this has been 4 years of our lives that this has been going on, this targeted harassment. So like me and Dan, we didn't get along for a while, and part of it's just egos clashing, and part of it's just frustration building up, and making it so you feel like you can't trust somebody. And like once trust goes away, like the friendship's screwed basically. But like then it's kind of like a common like thing of like, well, I'm being attacked and you're being attacked. So anybody who wants to do us harm sees us as kind of the same. And we better work together or else we're never going to get out of this thing, put an end to it. But then you just kind of remember like everything that brought you together in the first place. And yeah, we're in a good place. Like he's a good friend of mine. Yeah, I don't know. This is like, if I was just writing this out, it would be so eloquent and all that. And like, it's funny because I'm like good at improvisation. But I mean, this is brutal. Like nobody likes doing this. Well, Joel Haver likes doing this. He likes just talking to the camera and sitting on a log or whatever, which is great. Like if you love it, do it. I don't love doing this. I think most people hate it. Like this is it's almost like worse than public speaking. Like, I mean, they say public speaking is like the number one fear. Like with public speaking, at least you have something to go off of. Like you have an audience. Like it would have been smarter for me to put like Chloe, my girlfriend, like right over there or something, or like whatever, so that I had somebody to look to and kind of like see if I'm doing well or not. It's like doing stand up without an audience and the ability to hear laughter. Like this is brutal. Like this sucks. Like the movie could be really engaging that I am engaging in right now. Somebody might be enjoying this, but the beauty of this and doing it in this way is that like I don't care where the enjoyment is at. because it's a protest against having to do a proper documentary about something that happened to you that was traumatic and fucked up. You know, it's like you've been through the shit already and you've written it out, and what more do you want from me, kind of thing. Yeah. I'm looking forward to 2024. It's like 2024 feels like one of those like life or death years, which I like those. I hate those and I like them. There's a lot of dichotomy there. You know what I mean? Like just feels like I don't like the term make or break, but I just feel like to feel like you're truly living is almost the same as like feeling like you're truly dying. It's like a transitional thing. And I feel like 2024 is going to be this big transitional year. I don't know if I'll be right, but it just feels like a lot of people that I know are feeling the same, where it's just like just transition, death, reincarnation, life, finally living. I don't know. That sort of thing. Just passing through into another thing or whatever. It just feels like 2024 is going to be like that. Anyway, part of the reason I wanted to make this movie in this like last film of 2023 way is because I want to like end that chapter. Like right now I'm killing a lot. I'm killing the chapter of my life where it was so taken over by all these attacks by this one person and his friend Michael Haywood, who was his accomplice in this. Like Michael did ones in his own name and through his like IMDb account and stuff. And I would say probably, 90-10, 80-20 as far as like Sean to Michael. Like now knowing like all the evidence and the proof and stuff, it seems like it was just mostly Sean doing this stuff. But Michael definitely did stuff too, and Michael's a dick. But Sean's like way more of a dick. Like Sean's basic, like I don't really know that Michael would have been a problem if there wasn't Sean like on this campaign of fucking terror or whatever. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. God, it's so funny. Like I hate doing this right now, even though it's the simplest way to possibly do this. I hate having to like remember shit that like is like I'm one of those people that just likes to move forward, whether it's like a bad relationship or like something bad that happens to me or whatever. I just like to move forward. I don't dwell. It's just onward and upwards. Next thing. I don't like the feeling that comes over me when I have to like put myself back in the place of like shit or whatever. But like I am kind of enjoying like how much of a mess this is and how much like this is like a weird fuck you punk rock thing of like this is a documentary like because we're capturing me in this moment, but it's not what people are used to. It's not what people want. It's not. And that's like, if you can take your trauma and do something like that, and take all that you've been through as far as harassment is concerned, and like just kind of middle finger things in a way, like that's really cool. So I'm like proud of this as much as like it hurts. Kind of like working out, I guess, or not that working out hurts necessarily. Like if it hurts, you're probably doing something wrong. But I don't know. I just like I'm uncomfortable. I guess the lesson here and like the twist of it all is that like this sucks too. Like doing it this way sucks too. And probably it would be more comfortable for me to sit, even though it would take longer, it would be more comfortable for me to sit for months and months and do the, YouTube digestible version of One Star, the 4 hour, 5 hour thing like kids love these days with lots of transitions and me talking and, this, that, and the other that's so popular, which I don't really enjoy, but people enjoy. And this story would be so popular in that form. And I would feel more comfortable doing it because I'm just sitting behind a computer editing and editing and editing, piecing together. But I'm like right now I'm doing the thing that's like more uncomfortable, but takes way less time. So like, that's fine. I'll just do the uncomfortable thing that takes way less time. Let me just see how long this is. All right, so we got like 10 minutes left. My movies are everything, they're my children because I don't have children. I'd like to have children, one day. But these movies, like, and I don't know that it's ever fair. Like, I'm envious of like people that don't have somebody cyber stalking them and targetedly harassing them and trying to give them lots of 1-star ratings and reviews and stuff. Like, I'm jealous of people who don't have that going on with them. But I don't think it's ever fair necessarily. Like, I don't delude myself into thinking that like a piece of art ever has a great life, much like a person never really has like a perfect life. I don't think there's ever a perfect life for a piece of art. Like, it's kind of always hard in an unfair way. And if it were that charmed a life, that one was experiencing, I don't know that it would be as enjoyable. I think you need like the peaks and the valleys kind of. I mean, at least I'm talking, that's the cool thing. Like, there isn't a lot of dead air. So people won't be able to complain that like, well, he just kind of sat there and just like took a nap or something. Like, this is stuff happening. I'm saying words. It's funny, like, what if I look back on this, like, when I'm piecing it together? Well, not piecing it together, but like, processing the audio and getting the file ready, putting the credits on. What if I look at this and I'm like, this is great. Like, I love this moment. Even though I'm hating it right now. Cause like, actually that's been the case with like movies I've made where like I'll shoot a scene and I just won't feel anything. And then I look back at the footage and anybody would swear that I was like so in it or whatever. But like, the logistics of creating something is sometimes you're not fully in it, but your not being in it might not be ever discernible to anybody else. Like, they might think they know, but they never know. Like, it's pretty damn easy to just fucking act and cover up the fact that you're not actually feeling the things that you're supposedly feeling as the character or whatever. I don't know where I was going with that. All right, I forgot that train of thought. I mean, this is like an audio commentary. right? Kind of. That's kind of the feel of this, but there's like no movie. But yeah, maybe this is the audio commentary for the article. You could think of it that way. Although I'm not like looking at it and going over it and adding things. I don't know. I just wanted to close this chapter, put an end to it in 2023, even though it's continuing, sadly. Like, he's still doing it despite being found out. I just wanted to never have to keep going with this. Put like a closure point, take advantage at the end of the year and just be like, final thing I'm releasing in 2023, you know, stick a fork in it, it's done, or whatever. I'm excited. Doing something that's uncomfortable, it makes me excited to do something fun later on or something. Like, I kind of want to make French toast later with Chloe, which we've never, like, so with French toast, you need like, people will do it with like pre-sliced bread and it's like thin and it's like, fuck you. You need like uncut loaf, cut big old slices. That's how you do French toast proper. And we found this perfect loaf for that. So we're going to do that hopefully tonight. And, you know, just doing things that are fun and like celebrating the New Year's Eve vibe, like closure. Yeah. I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky to have Chloe. I'm really lucky to have any fans whatsoever. I'm really lucky to have Dan Lotz and Joel Haver and all these beautiful people in my life. Some are more in my life than others, but like, there's a camaraderie amongst YouTube filmmakers, I think, that's undeniable because we're just putting our stuff up and out there, and a lot of these people are not monetized. I'm not monetized for sure. So we're not making a penny. We just want to share our films with people. I'm really lucky to be living in this time period of being able to make films on your own, never having to answer to anybody, just putting them out there online. Whether they're trashed 40 different ways from Sunday by one single individual with dummy accounts, or whether they're trashed by other people or whatever, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you were able to win, and that can never be taken away from you because you created something. I'm so lucky to be sitting in color right now. Like, you watching this, you're seeing me in black and white, and you're just seeing me uncomfortable. But like, I'm looking at the camera right now and I'm seeing a beautiful yellow wall and a green door and Christmas decorations, and it's beautiful, man. It's like, this too shall pass kind of thing. It's like, I'm past whatever place I was of pain with it all. And I'm like, this is the last glimpse of that like black and white sad vibe of like what I went through. And everything I'm looking at, it's just so vibrant. It's so beautiful. All the lights in the room, and nothing that any of you can see, but I can see it. And it's just there for me right now. It's so funny. Like, I just said all that and I totally forgot that, like, Sean Rose, because he's a filmmaker too. He made this film Upstate Story, and like I'll just spoil it because fuck him, because he's screwed me over in so many ways over 4 years. It starts off black and white and eventually it switches to color. And I genuinely wish that for him. I want him, because like you can't cause somebody pain without causing yourself pain. I want him to have a moment where he sees in color again. And I'm not going to do what he does and like suddenly it changes to color, primarily because I'm recording this in black and white, because I just wanted to save myself the render time of like, and also like I didn't want to be meticulous about like the shade of it and everything. Like I just wanted to be able to handle the footage really easily and just put this up the same day that I shot it. So I can't transition to color. Like I'm recording in black and white on my camera as we speak. But yeah, basically I just wish for him to speak to him in his own words. Basically, I hope that one day, whether it's today or a different day or whatever, like he's able to realize that like everything that he's been doing to us has been black and white and sad and depressive, and we're living lives in color and he can too. I just want redemption for him. I have no animosity towards him in any real way. I hate what he's done, and I hate the continued tarnished reputation of my films on IMDb in particular, like all those 1-star ratings. Like it really eats me up inside, because I know people will go on the IMDb and see the movie and just come to some conclusion about it, not realizing that they're staring into abuse. They're looking at abuse. They think they're looking at individuals choosing to not like a movie or not. But really they're looking at 40 incarnations of one insanely jealous, spiteful person. They're looking at just one lone individual who cannot stand me, because I make movies faster than he does, happier than he does. I like myself more than he does. Like all these things, there's just like, come on, dude, like get over it. I don't know. I forgot that train of what I was saying. I do think I like that patch that just happened where I kind of realized the color thing and was like looking around the room. That was this really authentic moment. And like it kind of reminds me there are these fireworks I go to every year for New Year's. And they always have a huge finale at the end, like a big like they go slower, and then when they're hitting it home, they just send off like so many fireworks at once. That was like that. That was the equivalent of that for me. And it won't be experienced by anybody else, but you got to see me experience it. I'm not going to go back and grab color footage of like stuff around the room and cut that in. I'm not going to cheapen it. Anyway, I'm just so grateful to live in this colorful, beautiful world and create, and fuck everybody who wants me to be sad and wants people to think that I suck. Like that's really what it comes down to, is he wanted me and Dan Lotz and whoever else to have a bad reputation, for our films to have a bad reputation. He wanted to artificially create hate, which is so weird because like if I had 100 different people who genuinely hated my films, I'd be so proud because it would be 100 different people and they'd be having a genuine reaction. And it wouldn't change how I felt about my own films or whatever. But to have it as one person, that's crazy. You know, that's so painful. One person just trying to be dozens of different people. Like, that's awful. Anyway, let me see if I'm done. Yeah, I'm technically done. All right, so that's the end of this movie. Read the 1-star piece if you want to go in the weeds and like understand everything. It's all laid out meticulously. I'm really proud of it. I don't know what this movie was, but it's over, so you don't have to watch it anymore. Bye-bye.